It was this meeting between Xi Jinping and Anthony Albanese on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Indonesia in November that indicated relations between Australia and China were out of the diplomatic deep freeze. 2 years after Beijing placed an unofficial ban on Australian lobster, coal, barley, wine and beef, industry leaders are optimistic the next step will be the lifting of those trade restrictions.
We'd like to get it back there if we could. Live lobsters into China represented 98% of our trade for lobster alone. Plenty of comment going on about China opening up, and particularly with the trade relations improving.
Australia used to be the second largest supplier of coal to China. That ground to a halt in 2020 when the former Prime Minister Scott Morrison demanded an independent investigation into the origins of the coronavirus. Now, in a partial resumption of trade, 4 major Chinese companies, including power generators and 1 steel mill, have been cleared to import Australian coal.
Yes, we welcome the opportunity and we're optimistic that China will open its imports to us again, but we have diversified away from China, and so it will be very competitive in terms of being able to supply any orders into China.
Tariffs and bans imposed by Beijing have impacted Australian exports worth $14 billion a year, actions that are now before the World Trade Organisation. Canberra has indicated it would be willing to reconsider its case if Beijing lifts restrictions.
We shouldn't be overconfident, we shouldn't be complacent. We should continue to try to diversify our trade base and the like, because the geopolitical problems with China aren't going to go away in the short term.
Analysts say the rebuilding of political trust will also take time. Trade Minister Don Farrell will meet his Chinese counterpart virtually in coming weeks. It's the latest sign of efforts to try and stabilise what has been a turbulent relationship with Australia's largest trading partner. The ministerial meeting will be the first in more than 3 years. Sarah Clark, Jazeera, Brisbane.